Hello guys, we've just witnessed the most embarrassing defeat since 2017 when we conceded 6 goals against South Africa. So we've just been beaten 7-2 by the Egyptians. They were quite efficient, quite effective, quite fluent in their play. They played fast, they played quick, they were strong, a very physical match. They did not give us any space to play. You'd say we played into their hands really. Probably the fact that we conceded early goals unsettled us quite a bit. Most of the time we were going narrow in terms of attack. Instead of us using the flanks, using the wide areas to attack, using the baselines, we were most of the time going through the center. So that's something that probably we need to have a look at. We've seen we can't score goals. We've seen Constant and Festus score 2 goals, which is a good thing. But the problem is we are still making a lot of mistakes in the defense. I said yesterday we can't allow ourselves to make such mistakes. We saw against Ghana, we made crucial mistakes, lost the match. But today, we were caught. We couldn't seem to handle the ball. Most of the time, we found that when we had the ball, it either slips off our stick or we deflect it off the stick. We could not stop those passes. A lot of missed passes. We were also slow on the ball, and Egypt were closing us down fast. They did not give us any space whatsoever to play. Our midfield was very slow. The transition was very slow. We found that our midfielders got 1 or 2 touches extra, which allowed the Egyptians to close in and get the ball. And once they got the ball, they were able to move it fast, move it quick, and they seemed to have the forwards that ran out wide to get the balls. Most of the time they were attacking through our left flank, and it's something that we should have noted and closed down that gap. But they used that gap, especially in the first half, and they were successful in it. Something that the Egyptians did well to good effect was to bombard us in midfield. They did not give us space in midfield. I think they realized this. Probably they had a look at yesterday's match, which was also our weakness, the midfield area. They did not give us space there at all. I don't know why we are deploying 1 man in the midfield, because we seem to have 1 man at the center of the midfield, and the other partners seem to be a bit wider. So the midfielder is quite isolated, and it's so easy to pick the player up. If you look at Egypt, the way they played, they had players. They were attacking or defending in blocks of 5s. So at any one time, we found that the midfield had around 3 Egyptian players in the middle. And then what they did was, once they got the ball, they were expanding the pitch. They were going out wide fast, playing quick passes, finding the forward. What we did instead, we did not have that movement. So you found that most of the time that our midfielder had the ball, the midfield, the forward line was a bit static, or they did not. There was no understanding between the midfielders and the forwards, and sometimes we found that the forwards were behind the Egyptian defense, so it was so easy for the Egyptians to intercept the balls that we made to the forward. So I think we need to tackle that midfield area. As I said yesterday, once we have a firm grip on the midfield, then we can be able to win matches, or at least give a proper competition. Most of the forwards that we got in, they were trying to play through the middle, as I said, instead of using them in the wide areas. I wish we'll have had a 3-man forward line where you have 1 dropping in and the 2 guys running in the flanks, giving them options. But I did not see that happening. The way Egypt deployed their forwards, they were staying narrow, and when the ball came, they were going out wide to receive the balls. And always the forward had an option. They had one forward had an option out wide, the far post, either on the P spot or on the D top. But we did not give those options. Most of our forwards were going into the D and expecting a pass to come in through the defense, which was not good. Sometimes we found that the midfielder tried to play the ball out so that the forward can come in with the ball, but the forward was also going in and missing the ball, since the ball was going out and the forward was supposed to receive it out wide. So that's something That's something also the coaches need to look at, and we need to perfect on that. But our ball handling was off, our passing was off, we were slow, we were lethargic, especially in midfield. Once again, our defense made a lot of mistakes in the back, which were very costly. And we also gave away a lot of short corners. I think they realized that one of our weaknesses was defending short corners. Very good drag flicks from both teams. Did not have good communication, especially in our defensive areas. Sometimes the defenders found themselves going 3 guys for 1 ball, and it left spaces in behind, so it was easier for Egypt to slip the ball behind our defense. And some of the goals they scored that way, when that a guy was left alone, got the ball, either scored or made a pass, and they scored a goal. So there was no proper communication there. I usually say the goalkeeper is the one that's supposed to marshal the defense. They're supposed to start arranging the defense even before the ball gets there. That is something that we did not do well. So we need to have a look into that. I also noticed that we were committing too many players forward, and we did not have enough numbers to defend. The Egyptians were countering us quite fast. If you had a look at first half, I think the first 4 goals we considered in the first half, some of them were because of sloppy mistakes by the defense, and then the Egyptians got spaces in behind us. So they got spaces behind us. So we need to have a look into that. We also looked to play narrow in defense, which I think did not work well for us. I believe we should have had the wingers staying out wide so that they can cut out the inroads or the channels towards the baseline. The Egyptians had an easy time switching the ball and getting the ball deep into our defensive areas, which was very dangerous for us. So yes, it is a good thing to stay compact. It's a good thing to stay narrow, to give the opponents a difficult time in terms of getting into the D. But the moment we can't be able to cut out the wide channels, then the narrow defense won't work, because what they'll just do, they'll just make sure we concede silly fouls, we concede fouls that lead to short corners, as we saw, and they will score. The Egyptians have shown that they are very good in terms of their PC executions. Most of their goals coming from PC execution. So yes, we can play a narrow defense, but at the same time, we need to take care of our flanks. We need to make sure that we don't give our opponents chances on the flanks. Yeah, so guys, that's my short analysis of Egypt versus Kenya. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Hit the comment section below. Give me your views on this game. I shall post the analysis of Ghana versus Kenya, the women's match that ended in a draw. So cheers, guys. Bye bye.